are in play because we have our biggest offer ever. Normally in the past when we do our pest repellers, we do a 3-pack, a 4-pack, a 6-pack, and so many folks call in and say, listen, I need more than that because I want to get one for every room in the house, but I don't want to spend $70 or $80. Tonight, for the first time in HSN history, we're going for a whole home makeover. It's a 9-pack at our lowest price ever, $369. When you add all of this up, the lowest you would ever see a 9-pack on HSN would be $61 and change. The reality is you could easily spend up to $70 or $80. Tonight we're going to send you the premium ones with the Nightlights, some with the power outlets, all the features that you would want to really make your house a better home without all the creatures. Price-wise, we're under $40. We'll pay the shipping and handling, and it's not on 2 but 3 crazy flex pays. This presentation means nothing without you. Folks, if you have the pest repellers like I do, like 3.5 million people do across the United States, call us 1-866-376-8255. Tell us about your pest problems. Tell us what Bell and Howell have helped solve. Mr. Lou Caputo is here, my friend and yours. Lou, sir.
Adam.
Let's be honest, yes. When it comes to pests, they're not our friends.
They are not our friends.
You want to get rid of them.
And that's exactly what these are going to do for you. And it's going to do it in 9 different rooms in your home, and that's the amazing part of this tonight, folks. We've never offered a set this large ever before, and usually you hear me say, you know, we've got enough to do 1 floor of the average size house. Guess what, guys? We can do your 1st floor, we can do your 2nd floor, we can do your attic, and your basement. We're talking about whole house protection. Adam, take a look at this over here, folks. We're going to walk over to this house because I want you to see this. This is what I'm talking about. If this was your home, if this were your home, all right, here's your attic. Here's the 2nd story. Here's that 1st story. And way over by Adam, there's that garage. And you can see right here, these are the classic models, okay? These are the upgraded models. And then, of course, the deluxe right here on the bottom. So we're talking about the standards. We're talking about the lights on the LEDs. And then the deluxe ones have the LED lights, Adam, and they have the plug as well. All of it.
How many of us have been waiting for a today's special? I know that we're speaking to a lot of folks when we say pest repellers. Again, if you have them, but you only have 2 or 3 and you only have them in a couple of rooms, tonight is your night. The only today's special of the year, a complete house makeover. Bell and Howell, for over 100 years, they have been technology leaders. And Lou, the thing is, this technology has been around a while, but they've now perfected it. This is 2015 technology.
Exactly, and that's Bell and Howell for you. We're going to take that technology and we're going to make it better. Now, if you don't understand how these work, take a look at this animation, okay? The moment you plug these pest repellers in, they start emitting ultrasonic sound waves. Those are sound waves at a frequency higher than human beings can hear. But look at this. The rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, the spiders, they not only hear it, they hate it. And they want to get away from it. So they will leave the area in which you have these plugged in. And that's why I tell people, listen, you need to get one in every single room in your home. You need to leave them plugged in, and you need to have them working all the time. Now, for a lot of folks out there, if you've never tried these before, I understand it's a leap of faith. You're looking at this, you're saying, well, wait a minute. It has a little red light that flashes. How do I know this is actually doing anything? Adam? I have the proof right here, okay? This is a device called an ultrasonic leak detector, okay? This is used by people that work with natural gas, propane gas, and that sort of thing. When those gases leak out of a pipe, they go so fast, they come out at such a high speed that they actually make a sonic, they break the sound wave, they make ultrasonic waves, okay? Now watch what I'm gonna do with this. When I put it up against this pest repeller, watch what's gonna happen. See the little red LED right there?
I see it.
Do you see how it's moving back and forth? That tells you that every time that's going, that's the pulse coming off of this. And you can see it going back and forth, back and forth. Watch that pulse happen right there. You see that? That's the ultrasonic sound waves coming off of these. So even though you and I can't hear these, the rats, the mice, the ants, the roaches, the spiders, they hear it, they hate it, and they want to leave your home.
I have said it from the first moment that Lou brought these on the air. Folks, this is one of the most compelling presentations you will ever see, because all of us can relate to this problem. We don't want the spiders crawling around. We don't want rats and roaches. Give me a solution where I don't have to keep changing things, replacing things, renewing things, refreshing things.
Right.
Give me a permanent solution. A one-time purchase of $39, one-time purchase, I plug it in and I walk away. I plug it in and then I'm not worried about the mice or the rats or the ants or the spiders. It's so compelling and it works. It goes hand in hand. We're going to go over here because for as great as these are, it does take a minute to sink in because so many of us, Lou, are not used to this. We are used to going out and buying tons of other stuff.
Well, we're trained. That's it. We grew up in homes where our parents are like, yo, there's a bug. Go grab the bug spray.
Right.
Oh, did you hear that sound in the attic? Go set the mouse trap. I mean, these are things that we were trained to do. But guess what, guys? This is the new technology. This is the way that we're doing it in the computer age, okay? We don't have to use poisons. We don't have to use traps. And this is stuff we're talking about right here, okay? Typically, when you're growing up, all right, you know, we see that there's ants.
Yes.
So what happens? You go to the store and they say, listen, you got to buy something for ants. Well, we've got all kinds of stuff for ants. I mean, take your pick here or buy all of it. You've got liquids, you've got baits, you've got traps, you've got foggers, all kinds of things for ants. But that stops right there.
Yep.
If you've got roaches, guess what? You got to buy other stuff for the roaches. So we've got tablets, we've got traps for them, we've got sprays and foggers. You got to leave your house at them.
Yep.
And then when you get into like your rats and your mice, my gosh, the things that we have for those. We've got the sticky traps over here so they die of dehydration or starvation. We got poisons to beat the band. One that looks like cat litter, one that looks like my dog's favorite green chew toy right over here. Not safe around kids, not safe around pets. And Adam, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you have a dog or cat that's gotten into one of these poisons, okay, they're going to get poisoned. Not a dog or cat, a rat or mouse eats one of these and your dog or cat gets into that rat or mouse.
Not good.
Guess what? Not good. They're going to be poisoned as well. And then, of course, there's your all-time favorite right here. And this is the one, you know, everybody thinks this is so easy to use. These things are hard to set. And once you do set them, when you hear that, whoa, I broke it. When you hear that sound in the middle of the night, guess what's going to happen? There's a body in this. Somebody's got to deal with the carcass, you know, and that's not something anybody wants to do.
Say goodbye. You don't need any of this.
Don't need it.
Get rid of all of this. Never buy all of that again.
Exactly.
Permanent solution. Folks, one of the most important things of this presentation, beyond Lou and I, are, of course, the phone calls. Because if you're like me and you have Bell and Howell, you know how they work. Right now, let's go to Marianne in South Carolina. Marianne, welcome to HSN. You're live with Lou and Adam. How good are these pest repellers, Marianne?
Excellent.
Yay!
Oh, love to hear it.
Love them.
How long have you had them?
Ever since you started selling them.
Oh.
Wow.
And every time you're on with them,
Yeah.
I'll always buy a package to have them on hand.
Oh.
Might as well.
Lou, that's music to your ears.
It really. What was your problem? What kind of pest did you have before?
Roaches, spiders, ants, and what I got them, I have a 3-level house.
Right.
And for about 12 years, I had a noise in my attic and didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then one day, my neighbor told me he saw squirrels going in through the louvers. And they were, you know, behind my kitchen wall.
Sure.
And I always heard the noise. It sounded like somebody was walking around upstairs.
Oh, my gosh.
But didn't know what it was. And as soon as I plugged them in, they were gone.
You know, that's what, and we don't make a claim about squirrels, but, you know, since they are kind of in that same family, we've heard people say all kinds of things these work on, but we do test them against rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders. Those we know they work at definitively.
Marianne, let me ask you, for anybody watching, because Lou used the phrase a leap of faith, what would you say to anybody that's looking, going, how...
Every house needs these.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of show right there.
That's it, we're done. I'm dropping the mic, walking off.
Marianne, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us.
Oh, no problem. I'm going to be getting a package of these, too, in the morning when I get up.
Yay! Oh, that's great. Thank you, Marianne. Wow.
It really is something that, I mean, that says it all.
Yeah.
If you've never tried it, and remember this, you know, HSN talks about its 30-day money-back guarantee. All we're asking you to do is plug these into your house for 10, 20, 30 nights. If you don't think these have made a dramatic difference, of course, send them back for a full refund, but they work like a dream. Now, one of the things that we'll go back to in a minute is that this set that we're sending you is a deluxe set. These aren't just all the basics. We're sending you the Nightlights. We're sending you the ones with the extra power outlet. I love the Nightlights for many reasons. These are smaller. These are not obtrusive. They just blend right in, Lou.
No, they do. And that's the beautiful thing about these is that when people walk in your house, they don't think, you know, oh my gosh, they have a pest problem. They see one of these lying around, yeah, they're going to think that. But when they look at the Bell & Howell Pest Repellers, they don't think that. It could be an air freshener. They don't know. All you know is that they work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Once you plug them in, and that's all you do is plug them in, they start working immediately, Adam. And actually, here, let me hold that for a second, because I want to show everybody something. This, okay, look at everything on this table. Think about all the money we spent buying all of this stuff on the table. This one Bell & Howell Pest Repeller is effective against everything that these work on. I mean, oh, and something else.
Yes.
Spiders.
Spiders.
There's nothing on this table that's effective against spiders. Your Bell & Howell Pest Repellers are going to repel spiders as well. And we're talking about the venomous kind as well as the non-venomous. These are going to work in them. Look, here are the 5 things. And by the way, we are not just willy-nilly saying this, Adam.
No willy-nilly.
We are no willy-nilly here. We have had third-party independent laboratory testing that has proven that these are effective against rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders in the localized areas in which they're working.
It's a fact. That's what's amazing. So buy with confidence. One of the things that I think people get confused on, and I certainly did in the beginning, when something is so low priced, as these clearly are for a 9-pack, we do worry that, well, what do I have to do? Are you going to sell me something that I have to put into it every month, every 60 days, every 3 months?
Nope.
Nothing. There's nothing else to buy. There's nothing else to do. It's a one-time purchase. Now, normally when I'd be out here with a 4-pack or a 5-pack, or even a 6-pack, I'd often suggest buying a couple sets to get one in every room, because that's going to put you on complete lockdown, maximum protection. I'm not going to say that tonight, because tonight with a 9-pack, which is the biggest offer we've ever done, it is a complete whole home makeover, and that's what's so exciting. Let me put it this way. If you were going to buy our pest repellers, you'd buy them today, while supplies last. And I can tell you, with already close to 2,000 spoken for, these are selling very quickly. Everybody, of course, can do FlexPay, 3 FlexPay of $13.32. We just spoke to Marianne. I'd love for you to call in. I always say, Lou, and you know it, good products and good people and good brands deserve to do well. This is all 3.
Yeah, and you know what? And the value with this is absolutely incredible. I mean, Bell & Howell's a company that's been around for over 100 years, and certainly, I think we're almost at 3.5 million.
We'll show everybody. 3.5 million.
Isn't that amazing?
Have been sold on HSN.
I mean, that's what we're talking about. So you know they've got to work. And I want to show you something here. This is one of the models that we have in the kit here. You're going to get 3 of these. These are the deluxe ones. And notice that we have this plug-in right here for this lamp, all right? You're not going to lose the use of the outlet when you buy these. And these have the Nightlights as well. So if I cover, look at that, there's a photo cell on the top of this. When I cover that photo cell, those LED lights are going to come on. So we're talking about this is great for the kitchen, the bathroom, the top of the stairs, the bottom of the stairs, out in the hallways at night.
It's a nightlight.
I just love that. It's a nightlight, and I love that those LEDs come on the minute that they sense it's getting dark. When I cover that photo cell, those lights are going to come on. And it just, you know, if this was plugged into a wall where we're sitting right now, if it were plugged into a wall, you would see how this just blends in. Nobody even knows that they're there. And you're not going to miss that outlet with the 3 that you have with that plug in it.
To me, this is like an old friend, because if you came over for tea right now at my house, you'd see these everywhere.
Mine too.
I've got them everywhere. I love the ones with the night lights that Lou just showed you, because it does work as a night light. It's great. You know, we have one in the bathroom, and if you get up in the middle of the night, it's there. It just gives you a little bit of illumination. This is the best deal we have ever done by a 9-pack for this price.
Isn't it crazy?
Unheard of. Now, one of the things that we get asked a lot, and I do want to address this right out of the gate, Lou, what if I've got dogs or cats? Is this going to harm them?
Adam, I'm glad you asked. If you have dogs, if you have cats, if you have children, none of them are going to hear this, okay? The rats hear it, the mice, the ants, the roaches, the spiders, but these are ultrasonic. They're at a sound frequency that is so much higher than what human beings can hear, than cats, than dogs, than your kids. Nobody's going to hear these. I have them in my bedroom, Adam, and I sleep like a baby. I don't even know that they're there. And in fact, the only way that I can show you that these are actually working is by taking the ultrasonic leak detector that I showed you earlier. I'll do a different one. I'll put it right up against this guy right here. And you're going to see it pulsing See that? Every time it discharges that ultrasonic sound wave, you see that red LED bouncing back and forth. And this is the device. I had to buy this from an industrial catalog. They sell this to people that work with propane and natural gas to detect leaks.
Wow.
Because they come out at such a high speed, a high rate of speed, they make an ultrasonic sound wave. That's what we're seeing right here. Ultrasonic sound, the only way you're going to be able to see it, not hear it.
It's amazing because it's so discreet, it's so unobtrusive when you put them in.
How many?
One of I have a phobia. Like I had this reoccurring nightmare, especially moving from England to Florida, of getting up in the middle of the night and walking down the hallway and standing on a roach. I just have this overwhelming fear.
Which in Florida is a distinct possibility.
It could very easily happen, like stand out and hear that crunch. Folks, I don't like the spiders. I don't like the roaches. I don't particularly like ants. I certainly don't care for rats and mice.
Right.
Bell and Howell. Bell and Howell have perfected the technology in 2015, which means that you are helping to drive away all of those things to not be in your home. And that's such a powerful statement.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Lou, I've never stepped on a roach. I have Bell and Howell.
Well, you have Bell and Howell, and you know what you also got is you got Nightlights and lots of them. Because remember, out of the 9 that you're getting, 6 of them are going to have those beautiful LED nightlights on them. And you can even see them, how they're hitting the table down here. Imagine these in your hallway, in your bath. I mean, this is like a 2-for-1 with each and every one of these. And remember, you're getting 3 of the classics, you're getting 3 of the upgraded, and you're getting 3 of the deluxe. And the deluxe have not only the LEDs, but they have that extra outlet on them as well. This is the most feature-rich set that we have ever offered here at HSN.
I'll tell you what, Lucas, we're already running out of time. Guys, can we just put our 10-minute clock on the screen? Because we're just going to have some fun with some callers, and just so you can see where we stand, we're already way ahead of where we expected to be, and all that means to Lou and me and you is that these will be an early sellout today. Bonita in Missouri. Bonita, welcome to the show. You're live with Lou and Adam. How are you tonight?
I'm just fine.
Bonita, rumor has it you've been using these for several years. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Yay!
I have them in my house. I used to live in California, and you know how bad the roaches and everything are in California.
So
and then I moved here to Missouri, and you know what? They are the best thing. Everybody says, why don't you never have no bugs or nothing? Well, I have these all over my house.
Oh, that's great.
I love them, and I want more.
Oh, Bonita. So what would you say to anybody that's skeptical tonight?
Oh, you don't understand. They don't come around here. I have a dog. It don't bother my dog. It don't bother me.
Nope.
It don't bother anything other than these bad things we don't want in our homes. And that is right.
Bonita, thank you so very much for taking the time to share with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You're
thank you,
quite welcome.
Thank you, Bonita.
And you know, she made some great points there. But and here's an interesting fact, and a lot of people don't know this, that the science behind these, Adam, this ultrasonic technology, they actually use a similar technology on human beings. If you've ever seen any of the cruise ships have these big sound cannons on them that they use against pirates. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah, they do that. Riot police have them mounted on their trucks to disperse crowds. So the whole science of using sound as an aversion is something that's been established for years. Now, using it on insects, on pests, on the rodents, that's something that Bell & Howell has absolutely perfected. And you know, Adam, when you look at this and you see how many are here, okay, think of it this way. Here's the first floor of your house.
Yes.
Here's your second floor. Here's the attic. You're probably not going to need 2, so I would take one and put it in the basement.
Absolutely.
We just don't have a basement. And then the garage. And never, ever, ever forget the garage, because it's the largest opening in the house. Things get in that way.
Whole house makeover.
Whole house.
Whole house
Everything.
protection.
It's a force field for your house.
Guys, can we go over there one last time? Because I'd like to talk about the alternatives and the savings and the costs that are normally associated with pest protection. Lou, you often talk about your story in terms of what you used to pay.
Oh my gosh. Well, here's the thing. I used to pay somebody to walk around my house, and I'm sure a lot of people out there do this, to do what they call barrier pest protection. They just spray poison around the outside of your your house. Well, what does that do? Well, it keeps this pest from walking across the poison. But guess what? They have a way of coming under the ground, especially if it's a wet summer like this one. They'll come up through your pipes, through your toilets. They find a way. In my case, a rat dropped off a tree onto my roof, got in through one of my eaves, went into my garage, and ate through my air conditioning hoses. Yeah, so I only had to pay to get somebody to come get that rat, and this is like 6 years ago. I had to pay somebody to come out and fix my air conditioning. You don't think that cost a lot of money, do you? So I don't use the barrier pest patrol anymore. What I use is I use my Bell & Howell pest repellers. These are taking care of my house, and they should be taking care of yours as well.
Guys, we're thrilled that you're loving them. I'm excited because, again, it deserves to do well. Give me a solution. Give me a solution for rats and mice and roaches and spiders and ants. Give me a solution that works. No promises or false promises or false hope. Just give me a low-cost solution that I never have to worry about again. Today is the day. With over 3.5 million sold. This is the best value of 2015. Wow. While supplies last. With everyone on the phone, we are closer to 5,000 sold. And Lou, this is a very real, expensive, sticky, messy alternative.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if you want to go out and play amateur exterminator, you've got your choices. I mean, you could absolutely go out and spend a lot of time. But here's the problem. Everything that you see on this table is reactive, okay? That means you've already got an infestation. You already have a problem. Bell & Howell pest repellers are proactive. You're taking care of the situation before it becomes a problem. And that's what I'd rather do, you know, any day of the week. I don't want to go out and spend my money and try and guess what's going to work. I know these are going to work, and I forget that they're there, and I don't worry about it anymore.
Let's go to the phones. Laura in Indiana, you're live with Lou and Adam. How are you tonight?
I'm just fine. I told the representative that I spoke to, it's such a coincidence. My mother and I spoke about these just today.
Oh, really?
A while back, you had a 6-pack.
Yes.
And we were a little skeptical. We split them.
Okay.
She lives in the country. She's got a big kitchen. She put she put 2 in her kitchen and 1 in her bathroom. And I put 1 in the kitchen and a couple other places in my house. And she would get mice. She would get ants. I get water bugs. I'm on city water. And they come up in my kitchen and things. We have had nothing. But when on the other end of my mom's house, she thought she saw a mouse. And she used to get them in the kitchen. I mean, she'd get up some mornings and there'd be mouse duty all over her stove. And different things. We have not had, and she would even get, we call them oats bugs that would get in like your flour and your Bisquick and your cake mixes. She doesn't get that anymore, has not had a mouse, has not had an ant all summer. And we're believers. And as you said earlier about as far as the mouse, if you put the poison, the traps are creepy. Yes. And the poison, they'll call off and they'll die and you'll smell them. They might be in the wall. They might be in your couch. They've made believers out of us. My aunt uses them, her sister-in-law, and talked about them. But as they say, we were a little skeptical, so we got a 6-pack and split them. And she thought she had seen that, and now she says, we got to get more. We got to get more.
That's great.
Laura, what an amazing... Okay, guys, okay, two things. First of all, Laura, thank you. You have no idea what that means to us. Folks, it is taking a leap of faith, because you do look at this and go, hang on a minute, it's only $39. I get 9 of them for 9 rooms, a whole house makeover, and it really works. There is a level of skepticism. That's natural, but this does work. One of our most successful products of the past 5 years is in my hands. Millions and millions sold. It does work. Yeah. Now, even if you're brand new to HSN, and tonight we're welcoming hundreds of new customers, please try them. If you do not find the same as all of our testimonial callers, return them for a full refund, but I promise you will love them. I keep having to go back to the value, Lou, and the free flex and the free shipping and handling, because it's gigantic compared to what we've ever done.
Well, you know, it's funny. If you're one of the folks out there that's bought one of these packs before, okay, now you've got more that you can share, just as our last caller was doing, splitting with other people. If you've got a summer house, if you have a boat, an RV, maybe you've got a barn or a shed, someplace where you've always wanted to put one, you're like, oh gosh, I don't want to, you know, now you've got enough where you can put these anywhere. Yeah. And by the way, you know, we're not just out here, again, willy-nilly. We're not willy-nilly saying that these work on all these different species. The HSN legal department went to Bell & Howell and had them go out and get third-party laboratory testing that proved that these were effective against rats, mice, ants, roaches, and spiders in the localized area in which these are working. So you know they work. HSN wouldn't let me say it otherwise.
It's a fact. No more harsh chemicals, no more messy traps, just a simple, carefree, easy, effective way. Humane.
We don't kill anything.
We will not kill anything.
We just make them want to go away. And this is a funny thing, Adam. When you see this and you see these sound waves, these ultrasonic sound waves are literally bouncing off of every hard surface in that room.
Yeah.
It creates a little cocoon, if you will, a little force wave in there that is going to protect you from these creatures.
Lou, it is a 9-pack, and these are not all the basics. This is maybe even just secondary because you're so excited about how they're going to work. What I love about this is that you're going to get so many of these with the LED lights that come on automatically at night. I love them. They're my favorite. We're going to send you Premium Deluxe, which has the additional power outlet as well, so you don't lose any of your outlets. I mean, this is as deluxe and as premier and as premium as we have ever done. They blend right into the wall on the decor. I know there's only 60 seconds left, so I'm going to go back over to Lou. But folks, I hope we've convinced you, because it's one of those few products, Lou, that we can all relate to, because we all don't want bugs and pests in our home.
Look, there are two types of people in the world, Adam: people that have pests and people that are gonna have pests, okay? It's an eventuality that's going to happen, so be prepared for it. That's what these Bell and Howell Pest Repellers are for. The humane way to rid your house of those rats, those mice, those ants, those roaches, and those spiders.
Now, normally when Lou and I are out here, remember, we would be saying maybe, you know, to get a couple sets, and that would cost maybe $60, $70, $80.
You got 9.
I'm not telling you to buy more than one set. I'm saying get one set.
Yeah.
For $39.
The whole house.
It is the entire house makeover.
House.
Thank you so much for your calls. Take advantage of the flex pay. You get them home for $13 and change. We'll pay the shipping and handling as well.
Yep.
Lou, sir, I'll see you at 1 o'clock.
I'll be back
For the encore.